Luca Nation. This is gonna be a really good episode today. A little bit on the shorter side. We had the Coffee with Cage yesterday. It was a marathon episode, so you guys could go back and listen to that. But I want to welcome you guys back to another episode. Probably the last episode we're going to record from while I'm in Mexico, because I'm going to be at National tomorrow. I'm flying in, so
excited.
With that said, welcome back to Lucas, Tigers, and Bronzo. My, I got a bone to pick with the U.S. national team, Cage. And I want to ask you something.
Yeah,
has Europe surpassed America when it comes to basketball?
I mean, is the American team, are we over in the Olympics throwing it? Are we trying to make ourselves look bad to the rest of the world? Is this part of a globalist agenda? Is this Golden's fault? Should we all have access to Ronaldinho during the Olympics? I mean, you tell me, man.
Well, this is what I'll tell you what I'm seeing. I'm seeing Durant put up 10 points, and I'm seeing Luka put up 40 points, 40-plus points. How do you explain that?
I don't know. I saw, Fournier and Teo Maledon and some NBA players on the other side basically playing the game of their life. Everybody gets geared up, and everybody shows up to play the American team, and the American team doesn't get geared up for anybody. They don't seem to care. It's not a, elimination type game, which, I'd be very surprised if they lose an elimination game. And maybe that's part
lose one more game, Cage, they get eliminated. How embarrassing would that be?
Well, now every game is an elimination game going forward. So, maybe that's the deal. I don't know.
They were up 74-67, Cage, and lost 84-76. Yep. In the last 3 minutes, they scored 2 points. Yep. And you have, how many times have you heard this? Durant is the best player in the NBA. You must have heard that all of last season. His cards were getting pumped in March like he was Jesus, and he would be making shots from half court. Where was that yesterday? Or it doesn't matter to you? It's not a big deal.
It definitely matters. It definitely matters. But for right now, ultimately, it's a non-news event unless they don't win the gold. If they win the gold medal, they win the gold medal. There are pros on all sides. This is clearly not the best team we've ever fielded. The Olympics are an interesting topic, not to besmirch anybody's, fandom here or what they like, but the Olympics this year have surfing. The Olympics has skateboarding. Yeah, I'm telling you. So
what does that have to do with them losing to France?
The Olympics are the Olympics. I'm almost like I don't even care. You know what I mean? And I think if I don't care, think of what these players think. They just finished playing a full season. They're all multimillionaires. It doesn't have the dream team or dream team 2 kind of feel to it, right? And these guys are just kind of going through emotions. People get selected to be on the team and say no. They don't want to do it. I think you care about it more than these guys do, and maybe that shows up in their score.
Well, did you ever care about the Olympics?
Of course, I did. The '92 Dream Team stuff. I was a teenager. That was the coolest thing in the world. That was cool. I also felt a little unfair because it felt like we had the best players in the world were all on one team, and how the hell can the rest of the world ever compete with what we were putting out there? So I like that. I like that the U.S. team lost.
Okay, so then there's 2 things here. Do you think it is that I know Europe hasn't caught up to the USA, but is Europe catching up to the USA, or have the USA players lost pride in playing for the country? Because the fact that they would show up to the Olympic Games, and like you said, it's not a big deal. They just had a long season. They're multimillionaires. And this is just another game. We used to have a lot of pride when you go to Olympics, right?
Yep.
Used to have a ton of pride. You represent your country. It's an inspiration if you think about it, because the whole world's watching and you get to represent. When has that changed, Cage? Is that just today's competitive nature of the current NBA environment? Because Giannis, Luka, Evan Fournier, these guys that are playing over at Europe, they seem to care. And I'll even tell you one other thing. I was listening to an interview with Kobe Bryant yesterday, and he was talking about Pau Gasol, and it was back in 2009 when they lost to the Celtics in the finals, and then Kobe, maybe it's 2008, they lost to the Celtics in the finals, and right after that, they had to go right into the 2008 Olympics, and Spain lost to USA in the finals as well. So it's 2 losses for Spain, and the next season, Kobe comes in and he hangs his medal in Pau's locker, and Pau comes in, he gets so pissed, and he said he did that to motivate him because the number one thing for Pau was representing his country. He loved playing for Spain. So how come all of these other players love playing for their country, love representing their country, believe it's bigger than them, but our best players, to them, it's not a big deal, like you said, and it shows off in their effort.
How come? I don't know how come. I mean, because it's not a big deal to them. I don't know why it's not a big deal to them. I mean, I don't know what you want me to tell you, man. You know, look, Simone Biles didn't have a great performance yesterday. You know, a lot of these Olympians, it's different, right? They've trained for this their entire life. They've trained in one event, whether it's the foil in fencing or taekwondo or whatever it may be. These guys, they're not training for the Olympics their whole life. They're professional athletes. And it's just another game here. You know what I mean? That's the way it looks when they're out there playing, especially this team. Isn't this the 3rd game they've lost now? Didn't they lose 2 preliminary games, and now they've lost this game as well? So, I mean, honestly, I'm not fazed by this at all. If they lost tomorrow and got eliminated, I wouldn't care.
You're not speaking truthfully, because at heart you're a competitor. At heart you're a competitor. Where's their competitive nature?
Yeah, but I can't control someone else's competitive nature. If I were out there playing, I'd be playing. I'd love to win a gold medal for the United States. That would be the coolest thing in the world for me. But maybe this is not the coolest thing in the world for some of these guys.
Okay, fine. I'll give you guys a different angle. And it's on Popovich.
But what are you trying to say? Give me your take. Let's get your take. So what do you think? Right? Because obviously I haven't even thought about this that much. They lost, but it wasn't an elimination game. I think they'll win the gold medal and no one will care. But you tell me, because obviously it's something that's it's important to you. So what do you think? You think they're throwing games? Do you think they're they're lazy?
No.
You think they don't care? You think what?
So 4 takeaways. One is the competitive nature. I just think overall, and this is probably why we love Jordan and Kobe, and even probably the guys before that, like the old school NBA. I think they had an element of just competitive nature. I don't think competitive nature is very intangible. You can't touch it, but when you see it, you know what it is. I do believe the older guys had the competitive nature, and I don't feel that this team had it. I'll give you an example. There's a stat where when Kobe played on the U.S. Olympic team, he was 36-0. Okay, 36-0. That's insane. And that's a competitive nature because, and we had this when I played soccer. I remember this when we played down. We played a team that we knew was worse than us. We would often play down to their competition, and it was on the coach to kind of, or on the players, or on leadership to be like, "Yo, we don't play down. Bring your level up and just keep that level to high. Play at a high level." It's difficult to do. So that's my one takeaway. It's just this team lacks competitive nature and leadership. And I think that that's been trickling down throughout the NBA if you take away guys like Giannis, who is kind of an enigma to the NBA. And I brought that up. I always asked you, why do the guys in the NBA not like Giannis, or why does he feel like an outsider? I think it's a little bit of part of that. I think Giannis has a different level of competitive nature than the U.S. players. The second thing, I think Popovich is he's trying to coach teams in an old school way. So I went back and I looked a little bit of film of the Spurs the last 2 years. They take a ton of jump shots, a ton of 2-point jump shots. And also the U.S. national team, the dream team here, they've been taking a ton of jumpers. I think you saw that. And when the jumpers don't fall, I mean, you're talking about 76 points they put up on this French team. And the French team is great defense. You got Batum, you got Gobert, you got Fournier. They have a few other guys I can't think of, but they had a good defense. But still, 76 points, and that's because they're taking long 2-pointers. And I would watch that. I thought the Spurs were going to make a turnaround, but I'm really worried about the Spurs until they change their coaching, because what worked, remember, Pop won with Tim Duncan, the admirable Ginobili, Tony Parker, when the NBA was different, when there were long 2-pointers were the game. Now it's 3-point and really in the paint. The game is getting back to get in the paint or shoot threes. And Pop doesn't coach like that. Apparently, I'm just going to keep rambling.
No, I get it. I mean, I get what you're saying, but what's the point? What's the point? They're being coached poorly. they're being coached poorly, and they don't care. So do you think they lose another game? Do you think they get eliminated?
I also want the conversation of, is Durant the best player in the NBA to stop? Because it's frankly just not true. It's just frankly not true. And if you watch the guy play and you would really think that he's the best player in the NBA, there's no chance that this guy who's on the biggest stage, and sure, you guys might say finals, but whatever, he's playing for the U.S. national team. He scores 10 points when Luka puts up 48. That needs to stop.
You remember when we had the Lakers last year, the bubble Lakers, the bubble champion Lakers, right? And you were like, oh, the Lakers, you were very good at explaining how they would go 70%. That they weren't putting it on full throttle. You called it just like you called the Heat against them, just like you called the Bucks this year. You're very good because you know basketball, you understand basketball, and you said, you know what, the Lakers, they'll be there in the end because they don't have to win every game, right? They're going to conserve energy. They're going to take it easy. They're going to go 70%, and then when it matters, they'll turn it on and they'll win. And you were about as accurate as you could be for the last 2 basketball seasons. Give you a lot of credit. Is it possible that this men's basketball team is just doing the same thing, and it just like they need their backs against the wall to kind of for it to matter?
Sure. I don't think it's going to work that way because the other side of the competition hates them and they want to beat them so bad.
Okay. Well, look, I watched Pitch Perfect the other day, Pitch Perfect 2, I think, with my kids, and they go to the Worlds. And, they get thrown out because, they embarrass themselves in front of President Barack Obama. And they say, all right, well, you can't compete here in America, but you can go to the Worlds. And they're like, well, what if we win the world competition? What if we win that? Will you reinstate us? And the guy starts laughing. He's like, win the Worlds? No American team can win the Worlds. The world hates us. They hate us. And they're like hysterically laughing. So I get your point. Trust me, I do. And let me make my play on it. And then you can get into yours. That way, if you have to leave and pack, or I'm going to leave and go pack in a minute for the national. In the early 90s basketball cards, 1991, there was one. In 1992, there's Skybox. In 1992, there also was a Hoops. There are really cool Dream Team cards. And I'm not talking about just buying you Michael Jordan. If you want to buy a Jordan, you can. But there are cool cards of the entire team, right? So I happen to like the 1992 Hoops no number card. You can get a PSA 9 mint version of it for $50-$60. Buy it now without even making an offer. Cool.
Are you talking about the Dream Team card?
Yep, the Dream Team card. I'm
where it's like
right
3 cards?
Yep. So that's another one also. There's also a plastic one from the 1992 Skybox. Yours is a 1991 card, the one where there's 3 panels on the card. And that's got some cool team cards in it also. And yeah, any of those that you happen to like, cool stuff, really cool cards. Scoot around eBay because it's Olympic time. Olympic time will come up again. These things will become relevant. I like these. When I was looking around on these, though, I saw some really cool, Magic Johnson autographed, card, slabbed by PSA on a Dream Team card. There's a Coach K one also that's not killer price. There's some cool stuff if you're, Olympic and you're like Andrew and you want to take pride in America and pride in your team and you want to throw back to a team that actually, kind of evokes that pride in America and the team that went out there and, basically just dominated every single game. There's a lot of cool ones. My personal favorite is the 1992 Skybox Michael Jordan number 45. So I like the Scoring Kings card. You guys know this, where there's lightning and stuff in the background, but it's got Michael Jordan's signature jumper. He's at the peak. He's got, the ball's coming out, you name it. Basically the same pose. It might even be the same picture, right? The same pose, basically. I mean, this is Skybox. That was Clear Ultra, so they probably don't use the same picture, but it's literally looks exactly the same. He's shooting the ball over somebody. It's a real cool card, real cool picture, and you can get it for like $100 or less in PSA 10. There's some cool Olympic cards. The 91, Skybox ones, 91, 92 Skybox. There's really cool ones also. There's variants on these. I remember there's a Mark and C minis. If you're into the perforated ones, like the Bumblebee Tuna, those you look for those. Those are really low pop, versions of these Olympic cards as well. I'm looking now at a Lenny Wilkens autograph one because he was one of the coaches of the team. It's $79 or best offer for a Lenny Wilkens autographed Dream Team card. There's just some cool stuff around to kind of, browse through. Go ahead.
I can't help but notice that you didn't choose any of the players on this team to
dude,
for their dream
dude.
for their U.S. national team card.
For your positivity, the last couple of days, man. I mean, you know what it is? It is, when someone pisses
I call a
in
spade.
when someone pisses in your cornflakes, it takes a while for you to get the taste out of your mouth, obviously. And this Ronaldinho thing is just souring the whole week, man. I'm glad we got a coffee with Cage in the middle of it too, because it would have been like vinegar with Andrew or something, dude. No bueno. Go get a massage.
Fine. Tell me right now. Go get a massage. Well played. Well played. You're at a higher level than me right now. That was well played.
No, I'm working, dude. We got to be working. But go ahead. What's your play?
All right, real quick. You saw this post.
Olympic team. We beat the hell out of the Olympic team.
I don't even know if we beat the hell out of them. I think they need more ownership and more accountability, but I'll let other pundits do that. Tips for national. You've seen all those posts, all that stuff. My 3 tips, okay? Mm-hmm. Really light and simple, because I think it's easy for big shows like this to come in and like your head's all a mess and you have all these expectations and priorities.
Yep.
I'll get into my play right after this, but it's have fun. Don't put too much pressure on yourself, and relationships are more valuable than cards.
I agree with that tremendously, and I can't wait.
Agrees with me.
No, seriously,
this is the first time you've agreed with me in like a week.
I can't wait to get there. I can't wait to get there and meet people. That is really, forget about the cards that are there, and that's awesome. Forget about all the other fun stuff and all the giveaways and the trade nights and the event. I really just want to cut it up with folks. I want to just meet the folks that we've talked to. Everybody better bring name tags with "Hello, my name is" and throw your damn IG name on there because it's gonna be tough. It's just the way it rolls. So what's your play?
Okay. So real quick, somehow Luka still amazes me. Like just as a player, to put up 48 points in an Olympic match is it seems like it's not a big deal. I guess we see 50-point scores in the NBA all the time, but it's a huge deal. The record for reference is 50 points. And he put up a 48, 11 rebound, 6 assist game for Slovenia. Which is incredible. And that's going to be my play today. It's going to be Luka, but it's not going to be the Prism or the Prism Silver, even though I think both of those can be worth a look. It's the Luka European sticker.
Oh, okay? Euro. Nice. Okay. I like it.
So this is how this card worked. First off, it's a sticker, so it's very condition sensitive. You could have bought it at $30-$40 at one point. Then the stickers got up to $50-$60, even $70, $80 to $100 at really last August when he was at his high. Mm-hmm. A PSA 10 would come out. It was about $800-$900. I even sold a few PSA 10s at $800-$900.
Yep.
Now the prices have come down. They're about $300-$350. Now the Prism cards have also come down. The silver has also come down. But here's the big difference: where there's 2,500 silver Prism PSA 10s, 20,000 base. There's only 118 PSA 10s of this sticker card, and you could get it for $300. Cool card, the Luka European sticker card. I'm a big fan of this card.
I like it. And you know what? We can close our episode with this. If Ian heard this episode, he would tell one of his favorite jokes. So I'm going to tell it on his behalf. Okay? Because when I did the Dream Team and you did the European sticker, he would say, Andrew, when you're in your house, well, maybe not you because you're in Mexico, but he would say to somebody else who was here in America, he would say, when you're in your house, what are you? And you'd say, you're an American. So, hey, when you're in your bedroom, what are you?
I'm an American.
An American. When you're in your kitchen, what are you?
A proud American.
When you're in your dining room, what are you?
America.
When you're in your bathroom, what are you? And he would say,
"You're American."
He'd say, "European." And there we go. Give the kid a little fun with the joke there. A little Dream Team, a little European Luka sticker, and you'll love it. You wrap it all up. You like that one, huh?
A wonky episode, but I think that's a good place to end it. Guys, a little shorter episode, 20 minutes.
Yeah, he's got a pack, man. He's going to the National. He's got a pack. He's got to get ready. Give the guy a chance.
That's right.
To get out. Get on a plane and get out there. We will reconvene tomorrow live from the National. Well, we'll be recording from the National. It won't be actually live, but I like to say that live. But I know it has connotations, so we'll be recording tomorrow's episode from the National. So it's good stuff. I can't wait, man. Don't make too much noise while you're there. when I get there a couple of days after you, I can't be like, oh, this is the partner of that guy. I can't have that, boots on the ground.
I think it'll be like, hey, we have meetings with this guy, this big wig. We got business deals here. We want to introduce you to this guy. We're going to do an episode here. That's what my goal is.
How many times will you have already seen Ronaldinho though? By the time I get there, 3.
Dude, you're making a lot of jokes about Ronaldinho, but I saw some of the messages you sent on my behalf, and I appreciate it. Yes, I have ears everywhere in the hobby.
I did. The CEO of Golden definitely heard from me about this. So
I know. Ken texted me. He said, well, you could reach out to me directly. You don't need Cage doing your dirty work.
I think I went above Ken. I know he's got his name on the door, but he's not the CEO. All right, guys. You enjoy. Thanks for letting us have this fun one today. A little discourse on America and the Olympics. And listen, for what it's worth, not because of these guys, because they are representing our country. I hope they win the gold medal.
Is Durant the best player in the league? Is Durant the best player in the league?
The answer is no. He's not. He's not the best player in the league. Giannis is now, and that may change next year.
And we can't send Giannis.
We can't send Giannis. And why isn't Chick-fil-A advertising? Why isn't there like an official Giannis meal already on their menu?
Do you think Chick-fil-A needs to advertise? Everyone who's anybody knows Chick-fil-A. The drive-through line anywhere you go to is 30 minutes long.
Advertising. You got me. I just want a 50-piece. I just want to be able to order a 50-piece myself. You got me. I'm sorry. Thanks, Luca Nation. I love you. Talk to you soon.